Good evening, I'm Asa Kwame.
And I'm Krista Lewis. Here's what's coming up next on Panthervision.
A leader of UW student government is arrested. We'll have a live report.
You might have noticed this house where you were walking on campus. We'll take you inside for a look.
I don't know what he's doing.
With finals coming up, we'll show you how students are shaking off the stress.
I'm so off, man. I don't know what's going on.
And are you ready to pounce on the competition? We'll introduce you to someone who is.
All that and more coming up on UW-M Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UW-M Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. The Vice President of UW-M Student Association has been arrested.
Brent Johnson is accused of sexual assault and has been placed on administrative leave during the investigation.
Panthervision's Stephen Burgermeister joins us live from the courthouse with details. Steve?
Thanks, Asa. There are new developments in the story, and I found out last night at the Student Association meeting that there is an investigation done by the Oversight Rules Committee into the activities of the Student Association President and another Student Association member. Meanwhile, SA Vice President Johnson has resigned, and his arrest came as a shock to the Student Association and to the suspect himself.
Easily the most frightening 24 hours of my life.
Johnson was arrested a week ago after a student reported he sexually assaulted her. In an interview with Fox 6, Johnson maintains his innocence.
I stand by my innocence. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know where these allegations come from.
The district attorney did not issue charges, but the university has launched an investigation.
We take a very, very strong position that the university will launch an investigation into any report that a crime has occurred or misconduct that has caused harm to other people.
Johnson says he supports the investigation.
I think the university and the Student Association need to take matters like this with the utmost seriousness. Once they find that I did nothing wrong, I hopefully will be able to return to the way things were representing the students.
Again, as I learned in the SA meeting, Brent Johnson, a junior at UW-M, has resigned.
Steve, what was the reaction last night after the SA meeting from Johnson's colleagues?
I spoke to several Student Association members about Johnson, and they didn't comment, citing privacy laws and wanting to respect possible victims.
Thanks, Steve.
The count now stands at more than 300,000 signatures in the effort to force a recall election against Governor Scott Walker. Recall organizers are collecting signatures around the state, including at the UW-M Student Union. Just more than 540,000 valid signatures are needed to force a recall election. Organizers have until January 14th to collect signatures. The deadlines for filling them is January 17th.
Organizers of the recall effort are working overtime at UW-M. Panthervision's Caitlin Lucier has the story.
Oh, no, you don't have to prove it to me.
Gloria McCoy is a student and a volunteer, but it's not school that's taking up all her time.
I'm here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Every morning I've been here since the very beginning. And sometimes I'm here until 6 o'clock at night.
McCoy is one of many volunteers trying to collect enough signatures to begin a recall election of Governor Scott Walker.
We had almost 300 signatures yesterday, and today it looks to me like maybe 200.
Volunteers have to collect 540,000 signatures, but McCoy wants more than the bare minimum.
I think we probably need a lot more than the 540,000. I think we need 1 million signatures. That's what I want, 1 million signatures.
As of today, over 30,000 of these pages have been filled with signatures. Scott Walker hasn't been Wisconsin's most popular governor, but he still has many supporters, like UW-M student Jory DeLoach.
The people of Wisconsin know that his reforms are working, that they have made Wisconsin better, they've saved jobs, and they're bringing jobs back to Wisconsin.
DeLoach says people are trying to recall Walker for the wrong reasons.
Thank you very much.
Got my sticker. Recalls are supposed to be for criminal behavior or misconduct in office, not for policy conflicts.
But for some students, the recall effort is a little more personal.
Well, I have a sister that teaches out in Madison. She's a TA, and she's losing a lot of money.
Being a student and recalling a governor both require dedication, but McCoy is willing to make sacrifices.
I've been cutting all my classes in hopes that I'm here and I'm watching and I'm doing this legally.
In Milwaukee, I'm Caitlin Lucier for Panthervision.
If there is a recall election, it will be held in the spring.
Madison police are investigating an incident involving the recall effort. An Edgewood College student allegedly tore up a petition with 2 signatures on it. The college has not released the student's name or any details about a possible punishment. Destroying, defacing, or falsifying a recall petition is a felony, punishable by up to 3.5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine.
UWM is moving forward on plans to issue separate student ID cards for voting. A new state law requiring photo identification to vote takes effect next year. Starting in January, UWM will issue cards like this to students who request them. The new cards are necessary because current student IDs do not meet the state requirement for identification at the polls. The new cards will be free for students but will not replace their current student IDs.
A bill allowing Wisconsin schools to discriminate against convicted felons is now in effect. Current law allows for employers to discriminate against convicted criminals only if their defense relates directly to the job in question. The new law gives schools the ability to deny unpardoned felon employment for any reason.
The new concealed carry law is making area schools adapt to the bill. Ben Miller has how MATC is making students feel safe in this week's MATC report.
It's been a few weeks since Wisconsin has passed its concealed carry law. What does this mean? It means that any resident in Wisconsin can conceal and carry a weapon. So what does this mean for schools? Surely you can't bring a weapon into the school. So what is MATC doing to prevent this? We got signs. Wisconsin is the latest state to pass a concealed carry law, and only Illinois and Washington, D.C. still don't have it. MATC recently has had problems with weapons coming dangerously close to the campus, and ever since the law passed, we have seen these no weapon signs on the doors and in the hallways. But do these signs really make the students feel safe?
Just posting signs doesn't really make me feel safe. It's a lot like the freeway, the sign says go 55, don't go beyond that. Doesn't mean anybody really follows the sign.
Knowing that there was a shooting only a couple months ago, a block away from here, putting up these signs doesn't make me feel any safer.
The signs in front of the school telling people not to bring guns definitely makes me feel safer. What happens outside of school, yes, but they should not be allowed in school at all.
I just kind of feel like anybody that was going to carry weapons is going to carry weapons anyways, regardless of the law.
People ignore street signs all the time, but hopefully these are some signs that nobody ignores. For UWM's Panthervision, I'm Ben Miller.
MATC has not had any problems with guns or weapons since the signs have been put up.
The Sandberg dorms have a new neighbor moving in, but this house isn't any ordinary house. Sarah Christofferson has a story.
In the shadow of the Sandberg dorms lies what appears to be a house no one on campus knows about.
I actually know nothing about this house.
Last spring semester I noticed it was getting built, but otherwise I don't know anything about it.
However, this house has more to it than meets the eye.
The bigger picture is the project was a design-build competition for the U.S. Department of Energy Solar Decathlon competition.
The competition involves 20 university teams who compete to design, build, and operate the most attractive, effective, and energy-efficient solar-powered house. The UWM Meltwater House included multiple rooms that were all powered by the solar panels on the roof.
When they were on the building in D.C., they powered everything from making hot water to turning on lights to powering televisions and computers.
Justin Lodel is now a graduate student, but helped create the Meltwater House back in 2009.
This second module is kind of the kitchen area and then more of a living area.
The house has many energy-efficient qualities.
All the windows are triple pane, which are really good insulators.
As well as eco-friendly qualities.
A lot of cardboard from Sandberg from the residence halls in the summer of 2009 and get that recycled into material for countertops as well as even toilet paper and bath towels.
The Meltwater project was fully assembled in Washington, D.C., but has now made its long journey back here to UWM in 4 pieces.
I believe in the transport back. Some of the stuff got damaged.
Sadly, little is left of the original design. The outside of the house, however, survived the transportation process and looks almost identical to what it was in D.C.
Yeah, the outside looks like they did a pretty good job restoring it.
However, due to its shady location, the house has to lose its main energy source.
The problem here is that we've got Downer Woods and the South Tower that create a lot of shadow.
The solar panels will be up for discussion this spring and will hopefully find their new home next to their old one. In Milwaukee, I'm Sarah Christofferson for Panthervision.
Organizers say they'll have groups of students finishing building the rest of the house. They also plan to design a new interior to fit the needs of the house. Coming up next, we'll tell you what seagulls have to do with UWM.
And chillier winter weather is on its way. Taylor Thompson has our forecast.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
Every year, 55,000 Americans are diagnosed with AIDS, and yet not many people talk about it.
But as Stephanie Stock found out, UWM is taking action to raise awareness.
UWM students are learning how to save lives. Instead of training in CPR, students are studying the prevention of STDs.
Sex ed should be everywhere.
But this is not your typical lesson about the birds and the bees.
I decorated some cookies, I played the condom game, and I made a quilt patch.
These activities are not just fun and games. They are informing UWM students about HIV.
Many college students don't think they're at risk, but today's event is encouraging everyone to get tested.
The World AIDS Day event seeks to answer many questions, but Janine Brignola only has one.
Does HIV look like me?
Brignola is a speaker with Hope's Voice, an organization that challenges the stereotypes of those living with HIV and AIDS.
We brought Janine because she's like not what people expect.
I found out when I was 3 months pregnant with my now 4-year-old son that I was HIV positive.
Janine shares her story with audiences across the nation in order to give a voice to those with the disease.
I felt like I had things to say and no one wanted to listen.
But on a day where AIDS is recognized around the world, UWM is listening to Janine's story of hope. In Milwaukee, I'm Stephanie Stock for Panthervision.
Testing services are available throughout Milwaukee and on campus at the Norris Health Center.
Edgewood College in Madison is being awarded a $1.6 million grant for its English language learning program. The grant comes from the Federal Department of Education through the Office of English Language Acquisition. Edgewood's program is designed to help teachers who increasingly work with culturally and linguistically diverse students.
A Wausau hospital is studying the possibility of adding a third medical school in Wisconsin. The new school is expected to cost $70 million. The study comes on the heels of a report that Wisconsin is going to face a shortfall of physicians by 2030, especially in rural areas. The other two medical schools are in Madison and Milwaukee.
Most biology students spend a lot of time inside buildings working in a lab. But as Panthervision's Jason Simpson found, some of those students are using a different kind of classroom.
Class and hang out at the beach at the same time? Sound too good to be true?
It's not.
We're looking for different pollution sources that go into the water.
Okay.
So Lake Michigan frequently has like sanitary sewer overflows and other sources of sewage going into the lake, which is harmful for human health.
Amber Koski is a first-year doctorate student at UWM's Water Institute. Today, she and her colleagues are at Bradford Beach collecting soil and
seagull feces. What we're trying to do is figure out where these sources are coming from.
the samples of soil they're collecting today are from the city's 3-year-old rain gardens. They test samples periodically after rainstorms to see how many microorganisms have made their way down from the streets of Milwaukee.
The stormwater can mix with the sewage, and in high rain events, it comes out of these manholes. Okay. And then instead of going directly into the water, it goes through the rain garden.
Rain gardens are natural filtering devices.
I think it was just my AmeriCorps experience that really drove me to pursue an interest in water quality issues.
In AmeriCorps, Amber taught grade school kids about the importance of water conservation.
I taught in an inner city, and the students would go out with bags on their shoes because they were afraid of the bugs and afraid of the environment.
She's passionate about what she's doing and says people don't really know what they have.
I think people often take for granted the water that we do have, take for granted the environment that we live in, and they just kind of use our environment as a trash disposal sometimes.
At Bradford Beach in Milwaukee, I'm Jason Simpson for Panthervision.
Students in the School of Freshwater Sciences can leave solid ground on Niske, the school's research vessel. And the School of Freshwater Sciences is currently building a new research facility on Greenfield Avenue in Milwaukee.
Taylor Thompson is here now with weather.
How you guys doing?
Good.
So, we're in December now, and you're probably wondering where's winter. It's kind of eluded us for a while. But that ends today because we're seeing our first snowflakes of the season.
Excellent.
Mostly west of Milwaukee, but we have seen some downtown. Now with those snowflakes, it is making the roads a little bit slick. And as we look now to our live shot over at the Marquette Interchange, you'll see those cars are moving pretty well. But again, I mean, we have to remind people at this time of year, all the time, to slow down and keep as much space between you and the car ahead of you as possible. So, but things are looking pretty good. Anyway, weather headlines for this week. We've seen our first snow. Again, very light accumulations, nothing too major. And yeah, baby, it's cold outside. Those temperatures are going down. I gotta bring in a Christmas reference, don't I? I mean, come on. And there is a slight chance of a Saturday storm, possibly a lot of snow. We'll get to that a little bit later. Now, as we look now at our current conditions, you'll see temperature is just above freezing at 34, and we have those winds are light, and a light snow mix is continuing with pressure at 30.30 millibars. As we move ahead now for the rest of today, you will see that those temperatures will not move up too much. That light rain snow mix will continue until about noon, and we'll begin to see things come down. There we go, 36 degrees, and the mixed precipitation will continue for a little bit while. Let's look at some of our lows from last night, and as you can see, the mild temperatures are mostly in Milwaukee, as we had 35 right down here downtown. But as you'll see a little bit out to the west, they have seen a lot of snow the past couple of weeks, so the snowpack is keeping temperatures a little bit cooler. So that's the reason for that. As we look ahead to our highs, not warming up a whole lot. We're going to see 25 in Eau Claire, 26 in Rhinelander, and a balmy 36 in Milwaukee, right? Not too warm. All right, as now we look ahead to tonight's forecast, there is a slight chance of snow showers, but again, it's probably not going to happen. I wouldn't change your plans. 28 degrees and light winds. As we move ahead to tomorrow, we will see that cloudy skies will continue, and we'll have temperatures around freezing, and we'll stick with those light winds, lows down into the lower 20s. As we move ahead now into Wednesday, we will see, again, near freezing, but the sun will come out, so that's good news, right? The lows will stay around 23 and light winds. And as now we look ahead to our extended forecast, look at all that sunshine. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. There's your John Denver reference for the day. But again, we do have a chance for a snowstorm on Saturday. Most of the models say sunny skies, but there is one outlier model that we're keeping our eye on that says we're going to get dumped on. So we're in Wisconsin. Anything can happen. We'll keep our eyes on it.
Yeah, I had to break my boots out for the first time today.
Hopefully you'll need them more.
Yes.
Right, and big coat today as well.
Yes, definitely, and scarves, all the cold weather gear.
Nice. All right.
All right. Don't let the chilly weather stop you from beating the bulge. In this week's MATC report, Stephen Radmer has some easy solutions to keep you fit this holiday season.
Staying physically fit during the holidays is always a difficult time no matter what campus you're studying on. But you may be surprised with the small things you can do to keep your calorie count in check.
One of the most important things is just to keep in mind to stay as active doing everyday activities as you can, such as taking flights of stairs whenever possible, continuing to do your own shoveling and things like that, work around the house. Will automatically just help burn calories doing everyday activities.
One MATC student explains why she stays in shape.
To stay in shape and be healthy.
Working out at a gym is definitely a positive, a plus, and continuing to up your cardio as your holiday eating starts to kick up.
If possible, the one thing you can avoid.
Whether it's eggnog or just desserts, cookies and things like that. And it's really hard to resist some of that stuff because you do want to be able to enjoy those things come the holidays. So first of all, avoiding too much alcohol because alcohol definitely has a lot of empty calories. Limit yourself to like 2 drinks if you're going to a party and then try to drink water.
For Panthervision, I'm Stephen Radmer.
Coming up, the UW-M women's volleyball team is in the NCAA tournament for the 9th time.
And with finals coming up, how are students coping with stress?
All that and more when Panthervision returns.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UW-M Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
The UW women's volleyball team is trying to make history.
Heather Klein joins us now with sports.
Thanks, Asa. The UW-M women's volleyball team's bid for Horizon League history is over. After finishing the conference season unbeaten, the Lady Panthers took on Iowa State in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Panthers put a scare into the nation's number 4 seed, but could not pull off an upset. After losing the first set, the Panthers led by as many as 4 in the second, but lost 25-23. The third set was tied at 20 before Iowa State closed things out, again by the score of 25-23. The Panthers were hoping to become the first Horizon League team to win a match in the NCAA tournament. The men's basketball team is beginning the regular season on a high note. The Panthers beat Loyola at home 59-41. The Panthers took over in the second half, led by Ryan Allen, who scored 14 points. Allen was not alone in his efforts. Both Kyle Callum and Kaylin Williams also scored in the double digits. The win was the 5th straight in a league opener for the UW-M and matches its best start since an identical 6-1 opening in the 2004-2005 season. The Panthers beat UIC on Saturday in overtime, claiming a 73-71 victory. Junior forward James Harsma is the Horizon League Men's Basketball Player of the Week. He averaged 15 points a game last week, shooting 69% from the field. Harsma also averaged 6.5 rebounds per game. Harsma sat out last season, but has started all 7 games this year for the team. He is the league's leading rebounder so far this season. The UWM women's basketball team came up 6 points short in this weekend's game against Michigan State, losing 69-63. The Panthers were led by junior Sammy Tucker, who scored her third straight double-double of the season with 21 points and 11 rebounds. The Panthers managed to close the gap to just 2 points with 3 minutes left in the game, but Michigan State pulled away with the win. UWM continues their road games and will face off top-ranked Baylor December 8th at 7 p.m. With the basketball season in full swing, you'll find more than players and dancers and cheerleaders on the court, and as Asa Kwame reports, there's someone else really pouncing with Panther pride.
As a Division I school, our athletic teams seem to capture most of our Panther spirit. But who is the one who always shows up to the game?
Not only does the basketball team, dance team, and cheerleaders run through this tunnel, another student comes out in disguise.
It's actually pretty comfortable, just like a slipper.
Pounce is his name, and an energetic presence is his game. Junior Claire Gibbons says the game wouldn't be the same without him.
Well, he's our mascot, so all of the chants, Panthers, it's to him, to our school.
Pounce, it's a different character, so you can let loose and be whoever you want to be, be the Pounce character. So it's the fun thing about it. You can do whatever, be whoever you want, and no one knows, so it's kind of fun.
And Pounce keeps his fellow Panthers coming back.
Enthusiasm has really picked up, and Pounce adds a lot to that. And I think I'd really get a big kick out of, as you can see, a chip off the old block here. So I think I'd probably be a perfect fit, in fact, to be Pounce.
He's a local celebrity to all the fans in the stands. He's turning heads and making people wonder who's really under the mask.
It's a great experience, so.
But the celebrity will forever remain a secret. At the U.S. Cellular Arena, I'm Asa Kwame for Panthervision.
What a great story. So Asa, how many mysterious Pounces are there?
Well, there are 4, and they didn't want to keep it a secret, so that is the reason we could not show the face, just hearing his voice, so keeps everyone on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, for sure. What else do you know about Pounce?
One of them is graduating this year, so we'll get to see who's going to be in the running for filling his spot.
For sure, for sure.
Well, whoever's in the costume, they really know how to get the crowd into it, so it's still good.
He definitely adds to Wisconsin's great mascots, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. The end of the semester is approaching, and that means one thing: finals. Actually, it means 2 things: final exams and stress. Panthervision's Jordan Johansson shows us how some students are fighting the stress.
I'm horrible to be around. My anxiety kicks in.
Samantha Fora, a film and English major at UWM, finds the last few weeks of each semester more than stressful.
All I want to do is sleep and eat and not work out or do anything remotely healthy for myself.
The end of the semester is nearing, and students like Samantha are beginning to prepare for finals. It may be helpful for students like Samantha to find ways to reduce their stress level, like the mentors at UWM's First Year Center do. Amber Rivard is a sophomore in the School of Architecture and Urban Planning and a mentor at the First Year Center. Amber not only teaches students ways to de-stress,
I'm so off, man. I don't know what's going on.
but she also practices them.
I'm not used to this. I have some tips just because I'm an architecture student and I don't get a lot of sleep at all. I get 4 to 5 a night. So I went to Norse for my first time and just talked with one of the doctors there, and just basically to get as much sleep as you can. If you're staying up late studying, don't eat a bunch of unhealthy food. Like if you're somewhere in the library, bring your own lunch, bring your own like fruits and vegetables and water. That's the most important thing, is to stay hydrated.
There are many ways to de-stress during the semester, including eating well, staying hydrated, and exercising.
Amber uses her African dance class as a way to exercise and relieve her own stress. In the weeks to come, remember these helpful tips for a smoother sail into the winter break. In Milwaukee, I'm Jordan Johansson for Panthervision.
To receive more tips on staying healthy this school year, you can visit North Health Center or the First Year Center located on the first level of Bolton Hall.
That's our report for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
You can watch UW on Panthervision anytime on Time Warner's Wisconsin On Demand Channel 411.
You can also see us on Time Warner Channel 14 and AT&T U-verse Channel 99 at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.